Hi guys, Angie Bells, my fairy treasures. Okay, I'm back. All right, so this is dried. If you want to know how we got to this point, go back to part 1 and it's all in part 1. Okay, so now we're on to part 2. So this is all dried. Remember, we are decorating what do you call it? What are you decorating? A notebook, a insert in for my yeah, we'll just leave it like that. This is an insert. It's a notebook that I already pre-bought, so it's an insert in my traveler's notebook. Okay, sorry, I had a brain fart. And if you go to part 1, you'll know where we're at. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to gesso, and we want to do a light gessoing. So we really prepare the surface for some acrylic paint and the new techniques I was teasing about yesterday that I learned from, what is her name? I mentioned her yesterday. I think I always try to write names down because I'll forget. Her name is Bailey or Bali. And I didn't put her, you know, I'm going to put this note down here. I didn't put her in the description yesterday when I did my video, but I will in this one. I'll try to remember. So I dipped my paintbrush in water and then I dipped it into some gesso. And I don't actually use gesso. I use a thing called Kilz. K-I-L-Z. I thought it was K-I-L-T-Z, but I think it's just K-I-L-Z. It's a wall primer. You get it at Home Depot, Walmart, Lowe's, any of those. And I'm gonna put a little heavier right here. And you buy it by the gallon, so it'll cost you maybe $15 for the gallon. You'll have it for years. So how cheap is that and wall primer is basically it's a primer, so it's like it's basically gesso. So that's what I use. So that's what this is right now. And it works really well. I mean, you can use gesso for anything. Like if you have some something that's plastic and you want to paint the plastic, you can just put the Kilz on there first and then paint the plastic and it will not come off. So it's a good thing to have anyway. So it can be something for your house and also something for your, your crafting, your mixed media. Okay, so we just Kilz that or gessoed it. Let's go ahead and dry that with the dryer. And I'll pause this so you guys don't have to sit there and listen to the dryer. So let me pause, yeah. Make sure I hit the right button. Okay, guys, so we are back. Everything is, the gesso is dried. Yay. Okay, so the gesso's all dried. So this is the new technique that I've been talking about. We'll use this color first. We're going to use turquoise. I'm going to use Diane Reevely paints. Turquoise, magenta. I'm going to use this neon orange and neon green and like this neon-y type of yellow. And this is Diane Reevely. So it doesn't matter. Just get some acrylic paints. We're going to change. You can use whatever acrylic paints you want to use. I have so much Diane Reevely. I have so much acrylic paint, period, that I need to use. Okay. So let me use my beautiful, I'll use this brush. I love it. Okay. What you want to do is you want to make these kind of like a liquid acrylics. This is one of the ideas that I got from Name. And she used liquid acrylics, and I thought I couldn't find them. They're by Prima. So I thought, liquid acrylics. If I just use some floating medium in my acrylic, then I should be good, and I'll make a liquid acrylic, right? Okay, so I'm taking a little bit of this color paint here. I don't need that much of it. Put my lid back on, and then I'm gonna take floating medium. This is by Folk Art. You can get this at Michael's, Joann's, wherever. I know I got this at Michael's, and I used a coupon, so with the coupon it'll be about $4 or $5. Anything else you have that will make the paint stay wetter and just a little bit more transparent looking will work, okay? So many of your mediums will work. Like I think matte medium might do that too. So just test it out and on a piece of paper and see. Okay. So I used to use equal portions of it, and voila. Okay, so what I'm about to do is going to look crazy. I'm just going to go right here. Now you're like, what the heck, Angela, are you doing? I know. All right, so I'm going to take, oh, this one, if I can get it from being tangled up. Come on, I don't want my paint to dry. Oh, come on. I got a stencil stuck inside of another stencil. Like just the corner of it. Come on. All right, let's take my time and try to get it out. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to take this design right here, lay that in, and then you want to take, I find you can take a wet paper, baby wipe, or you can take a wet paper towel, and I find that a wet paper towel works better than a wet baby wipe. So I'm going to fold this up, and I'm going to spray, because it seems like the wet paper towel gives you a little bit more scrubbing. So just lightly spray a paper towel, and now this is what's called ghosting. And you're ghosting with acrylic paint. Like I told you, I've ghosted with my sprays, my Diane Reevely sprays, but I've never ghosted with acrylic paint. This is cool, you guys. And this is what I learned from Name. And then she learned it from somebody else. I can't remember. Anyway, doesn't matter. Okay, so then go like that. Look how cool that is. I love that. So let's do it again right here in the middle of the page. Okay, and we'll go a little bit more like this so we can get like almost the whole design in. Okay, and then let's do it again. So let's ghost this with the acrylic paint. What happens is if you, some acrylic paints will stay wetter than others, and some dry right away, so that you can't wipe it back off. That's why I added the medium. But I've noticed, like if you have ones that are a little more sheer colors or ones that are neons, these I probably won't mix with the floating medium. It doesn't need it. It'll work with this technique. Look how cool that looks. Isn't that fabulous, you guys? Let me make sure what you guys are seeing. Yeah. All right. So we're creating all kinds of cool textures. This is another cool one. Okay, so let's take, we're going to use that one there. Okay, so next to this, let's put, oh, before we do that, I got to calm down. I'm so excited about this new technique. If I was you, I would keep a second journal around so that you can wipe off your colors. This is all a journal of wipe-offs. Look at this. And I am loving it. Just so that you don't waste any of your paint. And you're starting other pages in your other journals. Okay? There we go. Like, look, I just did that right here. And then I also ran it through the stencil and did that ghosting technique. I did the ghosting technique here. And this is all wipe-off. Look how pretty that looks as a page. So these are all pages I've started in my, and it's my Jane Davenport. It's not about the destinations, about the journal. Love it. So we'll work in this journal sometime too, with just already backgrounds that have already been started. But I keep that close by so I can always not be wasting paint. I can always be starting new pages. Okay. So let me put the lid on that color. And the next color I'm going to use this magenta. Okay. I probably shouldn't have. All right, so I'm going to take the magenta, just a little bit, like that. And we're going to add that floating medium to this. So the floating medium for on top, and we'll just add that. Mix that up. Oh. Just a second, guys. I got a mess going on over here. Let me get it cleaned up before it turns into a disaster. There we go. Okay, so right next to it, I'm going to put this color here. I'm going to go all the way down. Okay. And we're going to use this stencil. Right here. And spray this paper towel and let's go. You know, another thing is with the color you just used to wipe off, you could go over some of it too, and it'll add some more color. Use basically a dirty baby wipe or a dirty paper towel. Look how cool that texture is. Ugh, obsessed. Isn't that cool? Love it. Before I did that one, I'm like, I didn't think it was going to come out that cool, but it sure the heck did. All right. Let's just put this right here. Let me get a new paper towel. And you know what I like? Look how textured these paper towels are. I got these from Dollar Tree. They're cheapy paper towels, but you know what? They're really good for this because it's really textury. So it really helps. It's like a scrub. It really helps to scrub the color off. Because I used a different paper towel and it didn't, these just work really good. So if you can get a really textured paper towel, I think it works better. I like this better than a baby wipe. Look how cool. Oh my goodness. Obsessed. Now you can put a color below this first if you want, like a yellow or an orange, and then do something on top of it if you want. But I didn't want to on this one. I've been doing that where I lay a color on first and then wipe it off. I'm really liking the lighter color underneath like this. So anyway, you do it however you want. All right, so we need to put another color there. So let me put this to the side for a second. Bring my book out. Wipe off any extra color that I have here in my brush. I don't have too much because I really went crazy there and pretty much used up all the color. Okay, so next let's add another really cool color in here. Let's do this green. Now this time I'm not going to put in this green color, I'm not going to, because it's the neon green, those rub off. Those seem to be, they rub off really, really easy. They stay a little wetter. So I'm not going to add any floating medium to it. I find that they work better without floating medium. All right, I'm going to add this just to right here. I'm going to go a little bit over that color too. All right, let's use this one. Got to be really careful with this one. It's really kind of intricate and seems like it ruins. It gets caught up real easily. Oh, very cool. Oh, love it. Let me see if I can come in so you guys can really see the texture on that one. See the texture on that? Isn't that cool? I'll try to stay in that close right there so you guys can really see what I'm doing. All right, so let's take that green color again, and we will go right in here. And we'll use the same one. Turn that paper towel around a little bit. Very cool. Love it. I love this stencil. I haven't used it a whole lot. I'm loving it. And then I want to add some orange over in this area here a little bit. Just a second, guys. I'm trying to open up my thing. It opens up easily. It broke, so okay, there we go. It kind of broke, so the lid goes on kind of weird. Anyway, let me get another brush here. Yay, that's rinsed out. All right, so let's take a little bit of this orange. I'm not putting any medium in this orange color. I'm going to go over this a little bit, over that pink color. Okay, so what stencil do we want to use? You know, let's use these circles. Use these circles. Cool. And we'll use these right here. Oh, very cool. I like that. That came out really cool. And then let's use that orange right in through here. Do I like that orange there? No, in here we're going to use yellow. And I think I'm just going to paint the yellow in. I don't think I'm going to put a design in there. Let's just paint some yellow in there. I think I'm just going to use my fingers. Yeah, let's just rub some yellow in through here. Sometimes your fingers are your best tool. Yeah, perfect. I've been really loving, since I've been using these bright colors, I've been loving yellow and oranges, which I wasn't a big fan of, but it really brightens up your artwork, and so I'm really been loving it. Okay, let's throw in a little bit of yellow right through here. Drag some down there. And we could throw in a little bit of yellow through here. Cool. Okay, loving this. This is great. Okay. Let me wipe my hands. Put my stencils down for a second. It's cool. I like this technique of ghosting because it's like you're adding color at the same time adding texture. I mean, it's just really, really cool. Really, really love it. You guys will see me using this technique a lot. All right, let me put this aside so we can put this green color in our book. And my brushes are all dirty, so we're just going to use our fingers again and rub this right in. So this is going to start a whole nother page, which is going to be really, really pretty in my art journal. And let's blend it up into there. Cool. I'm super excited to work in this art journal now too. All right, let me throw this somewhere. Okay, right over here. All right, let's bring this back. Let me look at my time situation. What are we doing on time? Okay, let's bring this up a little so you guys can see. Okay, so what we need to do now is I need to dry this, and then you guys, we're going to make marks. Now, I've always made marks when I go back in with like a stencil, and I'll take a stencil and make little marks with, like, you know, like this, whatever. Looking for a stencil that I like to use to make little marks. You know, stencils like this, keyholes, these little flowers, whatever, to make marks. I might use some of those and make marks with paint, but I want to make marks with different pens, with different paint pens. So let me put you guys on hold. I'm going to dry this really quickly, and then I'll get those paint pens out and we'll start making some marks. But we need to dry this a little bit, okay? So I'll be back. Okay, you guys, so I dried that, and everything's all dry. Now I'm going to take some paint pens. You guys, I got the best deal on these paint pens. If you don't have paint pens, you can make these with any markers. Like if you just have the, whatever type of markers, alcohol markers, whatever. It doesn't have to be alcohol. Whatever cheapy markers you have, use those, okay? If you have colored pens, use those. But anyway, I got these artesian markers, paint pens. These were like $5 or $6 a piece. They were clearancing them out for $1 at Hobby Lobby. And my husband, this is what he likes to, when he does his art, he likes to use paint pens. So I went and bought them all. Well, I was going to buy like $40 or $50 worth, and the guy goes, buy them all. I said, you know what? I should. So I spent $70 in paint pens. I know that's crazy. But for paint pens that normally cost you $5 a piece, yeah. Okay. So let's get the colors out that we need. We have that color, we have yellow. I want to use black. I want to use white. I'll use purple because I made a little bit of purple when I ran it into these two together. My purple was actually dry. I was kind of perturbed. So I do have a purple from Jot. Oh, Jot is carrying, and even another brand now, paint pens at Jot brand and this other brand, I'm not sure what it is, at Dollar Tree. So look out for paint pens at Dollar Tree. I'm going to use this gold. Okay, I'm just looking to see what other colors. I'm going to use orange. And I think this blue color. Okay. Is this turquoise? Just a second, guys. I'm just looking at this pen on my paper over here. No, it's not. You know what kind of paint pen color I don't have is turquoise. But I know I have a marker of that color. Hopefully I have one right here in front of me that I don't have to go looking. If I do, I'm not going to worry about it. Yep, I do. I have a marker. So we're going to use a marker for the turquoise color. Look how pretty that looks. Isn't that gorgeous? Dollar Tree. Got this at Dollar Tree. A lot of these pens in here I got at Dollar Tree. And I just love it. It's a little bag full of paint pens. Not paint pens, just all kinds of pens. Anyway, I don't know why things like that make me happy, but you know what? A lot of us, things like that makes us happy. We like to collect pens, paper, boxes. I don't know. We're crazy. Okay, in about 5 minutes, you guys, this video is going to turn off and start a new one. So just go on to the next one. Okay, so I'm just continuing on right now. Okay, so making marks. So I went ahead and made myself a little cheat sheet of marks. So I'm going to hold this for a second. So if you want to make a cheat sheet of marks, you can too. I thought of all kind of marks that I could use, and I wrote them down. Here's some more marks. Another thing to do is when you have space, which we're going to have space to do this, to do messy writing, which can look very artistic. And I learned that from Name. All of this. Look how cool that is. And she does a lot of mark making with doodling, like how I showed you guys all these marks. Isn't that cool? Another thing I was watching her channel. She writes. I'll show you guys how I'm going to use this technique too. How to do these letters like this. Super easy. Okay. And I've been working on lettering lately, and the way she just did that, I'm like, okay, that's easy. So first of all, let's make some marks. I'm going to use black first. And a mark that she does all the time, she makes these little crosses. And for some reason, that really resonated with me. Because I love crosses. And I thought, why? That's a great little doodle. I don't know why. She even has a stencil that does it. So I don't even know why I was never making those marks. I love crosses. I'm trying to come in as close as I can. So if you do, when you make a mark, do it in like odd numbers, threes or fives. And do it in a few different places. And when you do that, it really makes it look like it was meant to be done. So I'm just doing it in a few different places. Okay. And you guys have to remember, I am working the front cover and the back cover at the same time. But we'll do as far as focal points, there'll be 2 different focal points put on here. Okay. We're going to do equal signs. Equal signs is one that I thought of myself. I thought, ooh, an equal sign would be cool. What happened was, when I was writing down different types of marks, I was at my computer and I saw an equal sign. I went, oh, equal signs would be really cool. And then I thought you could turn the equal signs and go this way too with them. And it's kind of just relaxing to sit here and to do this. I absolutely love it. I went back to crosses with this yellow inside of the little holes. I don't know why. I felt it, and so I did it. Okay. Let's use this green. Oh, something else I learned from Diane Reevely. When you're going to first prep your pen, just hold your pen down. And then wait for the ink to get to the nib. If it doesn't get there, just gently do it again and hold it. Don't go like this, up and down, up and down, up and down. It'll break something inside of there and it'll break your pen. So anyway, I just want to share that with you. Because I'm like, oh, I could have broken many of pens. Okay. I'm going to make this little thing like a little birdie. Like a little bird. Make sure you guys are seeing these marks. Yeah. Oh, let's just make little birdies with this. You can barely see this color. This color is really, really mild, which is fine. I'm going to make little hashtags. I'm going to use this teal color. And we'll put the hashtags right here. Really shows up nice on the turquoise, on the magenta. Or this isn't hashtag, this is like a tic-tac-toe. Well, I guess that is hashtag. I guess does mean hashtag. Never mind. Or tic-tac-toe, either one. Okay. And putting it in places where it's not showing up majorly is kind of cool too, because it kind of keeps it more in the background instead of being, it keeps it a little bit more subtle, which can look really cool. So I'm kind of doing it in areas where the color is already turquoisey, but it's just really blending into the background, staying and becoming part of the background. Okay, as crazy as that sounds. This purple. Okay, what other? Oh, let's do O's with the O with the cross hatch through it. Oh, this pen's not working very good. All right, so much for that purple. Let's use this white. All right, I'm going to use this white, and I'm going to just make little dots, and then make little stars, like how I've done, like when I do in my some of my other work where I do some collage work, when I do skies, and I make little stars. So I just thought this would be a perfect little, and then make a shooting star, and make little clusters of those in places. Okay. And for your stars, it's like 3 little flick outs. And we'll do a little, there we go. Let's do it again over here. I'm gonna mix it up with these little crosses over here. Just making sure you guys can see. Yeah, you guys can see. Okay, and let's make little shooting stars. Love it. And let's do that over here. Okay. And we still may flick all this with some, as you guys know, I like to call fairy dust, which is just white splatters. We'll probably do that. We'll see. And let's do some over here.